This week I wanted to talk about a really underutilized tool within the G Suite platform, and that's Google Forms. Google Forms is a really interesting tool. If you've ever filled out a survey online, like SurveyMonkey or any of those sort of tools, it's very, very similar, and it allows you to create easy to follow interactive forms for collecting data from end users for any topic or subject, and then it places the data within a Google Sheet if you want, and it can also collate the data for you. So what I thought we might do, because I have a screen behind me today, and also I'm recording my screen so I can put them together, I thought we might create a Google form together. So I'm in Google Drive, and I click on New up in the top left hand corner, and then I go over to More, and that pops up a couple of other options and additional tools, and one of them is Google Forms. So I'm going to click on Google Forms, and it's going to open up a new form for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name my form, and this is going to be holiday bookings for Damson. And the first question I want to ask is, what's people's name? And you can see that as I'm typing it, Google is actually predicting the type of question that I'm asking. So because I put a name, it's brought it to be a short answer, but it could be any number of different things. So I'm going to add a new question now. I'm going to say department. And I could maybe make this a drop down if I wanted. So I could do a drop down, and it could be sales, marketing, and then we will want to know when do you need time off? And this is actually again predicted a time. In this case I'm going to say date, and we will do just a couple of other questions just to sort of show the other options. So manager, we could say your manager is going to be a multiple choice question, and it's going to be Bob, or it's going to be John, Mary, or Marley. Okay, so we've got four options there, and I'll just do one last one, which will allow people to do, say, we did drop down, we do a checkbox. We can make questions required if we want. So we could make the name one required and the department required, and say the manager required, and then we could leave the where you're going on holidays is not required, make time off required. And so this is my form, and I can change the theme of it if I want. So I can go in here to the colors, and I could just change a color, or I could actually select an image, and within here there's some Google's images and things like that, so I can select one of their ones, and they have quite a good selection in here. So I could select one of my favorite ones, a little green one, and it will make the form that color and match it in with the theme. And then if I click on the little eye in the top right hand corner, that will actually bring me to the form and allow me to see what end users would see. And so I can just take that link and I can email it out to people, or I could add it to my website. You can also incidentally embed a form as well. So if you wanted, you can send it from within here, but on the send section you can actually go in and get the iframe and embed it within your website as well, which is quite useful. You can also do things like collect email addresses, restrict it to only people within your domain. So again, if you're sending out to your customers, you want everybody to be able to fill it out, or if it's some sort of private company form, then maybe you want to keep it internally. So really it just depends on what is the use case for this particular form. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill out the form now as myself. I'm going to choose my department and the day that I'm going on holidays. My manager Bob, and I'm going to France and the UK, and I'm going to submit it, and I just get a thanks very much for filling out the form. Again, you can edit that, so I'll just fill it out another couple of times. Okay, so I've submitted the form a couple of times as a few different users, and now if I go back into the admin end, or the kind of back end, I can see that there are 4 responses. So if I click on the responses, I can see the people who have responded there. And this view is collating the data together, so I can see the departments, that 25% of the respondents are from support, 25% are from sales, and 50% are from sales and 25% from marketing. So it's giving me that breakdown. It's also telling me the dates that people are requesting off, who the different managers are, and then the most popular destination for holidays is the UK. And I can also do individual ones as well if I want and see the individual responses. And then finally, I can actually create a spreadsheet and have all of the data put into a spreadsheet for me, which I think is probably the most beneficial. And this allows you to really kind of do whatever you want with the data. And so now that I've got this, I could, if I wanted, add additional columns such as approved, and then I could add drop downs in here. So I could do conditional formatting for these. So we could do data validation, and we could say list of items, say approved or rejected. And then we could say conditional formatting if it says, if the text contains approved, then make it green. If it contains the text rejected, make it red. And then what I can do is I can let go all the way down there. So then as the manager, I can decide which one of these is approved or not. Sort of set up scripts within this that would, when the person clicks approve or reject, it might automatically send an email off to that person to say, hey, your holiday request has been approved or it's been denied and here's why. And there are actually add-ons that will allow you to do these kind of workflows. I'm not necessarily going to get into it in this, but I will just show people where it is. So when you are in the form section, if you click on the little three dots up at the top right-hand corner, and you go down and click on add-ons, there's actually a huge amount of add-ons for Google Forms that allow you to do lots of different things. So some of them are notifications, but some of them are workflows as well. So if I do a little search for workflow here, there's a form publisher and there's a form approver. I've used the approval one before, whereby it will send an email to the person saying, you fill out this form, here is a summary of what you filled out. And your request has been sent to your manager, John or Mary or Bob or whatever. And then when the manager approves it, and they can do it from within their Gmail, it will then send an approval email to the end user and say, your request for X has now been approved. And most of those are free. Now, I have used different ones and had varying different results, so I would recommend testing those out and making sure that they work okay for you. So that is a very, very quick breakdown of Google Forms and some of the capabilities within it. It's one of my favorite tools within G Suite that probably, as I said, is quite underutilized, because all of us within our business at different stages will have to collect data from people, and very often people will be entering it into a spreadsheet, and Google Forms allows you to do that without actually having to surface or show the underlying spreadsheet. And so you can sort of hide the spreadsheet behind the form, someone fills out the form, and then on the back end a manager or somebody else is actually approving things or taking other actions within the spreadsheet, which can then, as I said, be automated or scripted. And there are some scripts within and add-ons within Google Sheets as well that allow you to do some other things, whereby when you tick the box and say approve, as I said, it can kick off another workflow that maybe pushes the data into another product or CRM or something like that. So there's lots of interesting ways that you can use Google Forms and kind of turn it almost into a little mini application. So that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. I will link below to some of the training for Google Forms. So if it's something you want to try yourself, you can get going on, whether you're an end user or an IT person. It's definitely a tool that I would make sure that your users are aware of and are utilizing to its full capability.